What do you mean? What are you bringing to the table? What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you bringing to the table? I'm gonna bring you a story. What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you bringing to the table? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you bringing to the table? Face yourself, people. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you bringing to the table?
Welcome to
What are you bringing to the table? Under his eye. That's going to be the theme. Under his eye.
Blessed be thy fruit.
What is it?
May the Lord, what is it? Blessed be thy fruit.
May something open. May the Lord open.
Yeah, may the Lord know that. Whoa, shit. What it? See, now we got to figure out what it is.
Know. So it's
I'm Tori. By the way, she, her, and hers. Oh, we won't have to do that in Gilead anymore, though.
No, because
they'll outlaw that. They'll outlaw saying your pronouns.
Right. You know, we are now moving to. Although I think if Gilead were to take place, I think we could potentially be somewhat safe.
May the Lord open. That's it.
Yes.
Blessed be thy fruit. May the Lord open.
Oh my God. Yeah, we'll be talking about that. Woo-wee.
Yeah, that was a hot start. That was a hot start right into it. We're just gonna go right into it. We're not gonna banter. We're not gonna talk about nothing. We're gonna go right into it.
Yeah.
So
what
let's.
Did Texas do?
Fucking Texas. Fucking Texas.
Remember that. September 1st.
Fucking Texas.
Illegal for a woman to have an abortion, even if she is raped.
Even if she's a child who's been raped.
Yeah.
Who's been raped incestually.
Yep. Who turns up pregnant.
Yep. And not only that, there's now a bounty that one can get if you have information leading to someone who did get an abortion after 6 weeks and the person that may have helped her get that abortion after 6 weeks.
And part of that bounty is that your legal bills will be paid for.
Yeah.
Like that they're basically making it a way for anybody, you know, in Nazi Germany, anybody in Nazi
to name names,
point fingers. I saw X, Y, and Z, and this is what happened, and I'm going to, you know, now collect the bounty.
Right.
I want the bounty, the 10 grand.
Yep.
You know, can you imagine? Like, I'm just like blown. And then the Supreme Court
upheld it. Basically said, nope, we're not even going to talk about it.
Yeah. I'm just appalled. To me, it's like, so why even bother with the Supreme Court? If the Supreme Court can't even listen to any arguments to say, yeah, maybe they didn't consider that during Roe versus Wade. But if there's nothing new in Roe versus Wade, if you don't bring up something new, then it still stands.
Yeah, and that to me that's the way that they're just opting out, right?
Yeah.
And because I think okay, I'm gonna give the people in the Supreme Court the benefit of the doubt of the fact that they probably do have some level of intelligence, right? Some have more than others. And I think I'm just theorizing here. Okay. We're just going to put that out there. I'm theorizing. Okay. That there probably is at least a conversation about like, oh, if we actually heard this case, we would have then said, yeah, we would, this is, you can't do this, Texas, right? Under Roe v. Wade, you legally can't do this. But it's like it's like, let's give the plea and take the plea because we know we can't win the case, right? So it's this weird opt-out thing of the Supreme Court of like, we're not even gonna entertain it. Because probably somewhere the legal scholarly minds know that they would have to overturn it, you know? And because you have the dipshits like what's her name who are anti-choice, right? You know, I'm sure Kavanaugh's probably anti-choice as well. You know, Gorsh. So yeah, I think that this is we're not even gonna look at it because it's just fucking it's just white men making decisions about women's bodies.
Right. And I think it's more so, you know, the tragedy of it all is because they are the supreme rulers of law, right? That because they are silent and when Roe versus Wade gave the constitutional right for women to have abortions if they so choose,
right?
That because they are not, because they have stayed silent, that women are going to be harmed. Women are being harmed. As of September 1st, women are being harmed.
Well, and this is the loophole that other states were looking for, right? Don't think that this isn't going to happen in other states.
No,
other states are.
I think it's just the signal to say go ahead because we got a Supreme Court that's not even going to look.
Well, loophole, whatever, right? Yeah. Tomato. But I think now that Texas has done this, you're going to see states like fucking Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, Oklahoma, Wyoming, all the red states are gonna try this because they're like, oh, okay, this is the way we go around Roe v. Wade. This is the side road. And
we have school board officials talking about let's not give kids free lunches,
right?
Because they're going to get spoiled.
Right. Exactly.
This is the.
We got school districts that will not make their students wear masks, but yet all lives matter.
Right. Exactly.
That
won't enforce mask mandates, won't enforce vaccines because it's a personal choice.
Yeah.
But by God, we're going to tell a woman whether she can get an abortion.
And we have school boards firing or voting to, I guess not, I don't know how it works, to reinstate a superintendent in Oregon because he was going to follow, or to keep a superintendent in Oregon because he was going to follow the mask mandate. The school board voted him out of a job.
Yeah.
Because he was going to enforce a law.
Correct.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
What planet are we on?
They're
screaming about the Taliban. Oh, that's started about Afghanistan.
And how
all these people that were killed because of this way that the war ended. Oh, what happened to the 100 and something Americans that died? Well, you know what? I'm still reeling from the 600,000 that have died from COVID because of the poor ass way that it was handled in the Trump administration.
Exactly. So,
if you're not outraged about that, I can't be outraged about 100 people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Although I prefer to say all lives matter, and I really mean it. But all lives don't matter. Just whichever ones you exclusively want to pick and choose now.
Exactly.
So I feel like I'm living in a world that is insane.
It is.
That doesn't know the top from the bottom, the side to the next side. I have no idea.
It is bordering on apocalyptic.
Oh yeah.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Yeah.
I feel fine. Good news. Good news.
Guilty.
Did he?
Serving 4 years.
Well, okay. Well, let's see though if he serves the whole 4 years. Or was it part of the plea deal that he would have to serve 4 years?
They said that his mother didn't want him to plead guilty because, she's believing the whole my pillow idiot, and you know, all these QAnon folks. Oh, that Trump's going to be reinstated. You know, so she's telling her,
are you kidding me?
Don't plead, because when soon as he comes in, he's going to give you a pardon.
Come on,
Bitch. He had the opportunity to give your idiot son a pardon before he left, and he just skipped out of there, didn't even bother looking at anybody that came out there to fight for him, and just said bye. And you all still following the idiot? I mean, I you just can't help this. You just can't do anything about it.
I saw a TikTok the other day of so that My Pillow Lindell dude, apparently he started a TV channel, Lindell TV, right?
Frank's speech.
It said Lindell TV on it when anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like a very public access level of production value. Yeah. These fucking, I guess this was their news show. I don't know, whatever. They were fucking talking about how, you know why there's a shortage of chips, right? It's because they're in the vaccine. That's why and it is true. There are a shortage of processing chips. That is absolutely true. But it's due to everything having to be shut down during the, shutdowns in the different, but they're convinced it's because they've all gone to the vaccines. Oh, and they were doing the whole like you can put a piece of metal where the injection site is, and you will see things stick. Like,
oh my god!
And they were like as real as we're having this conversation right now. Like they, yeah.
Okay, now and now I am a strong advocate for people to be in recovery, right?
Yes.
But you have to understand that using substances harms your brain, harms your body, that when you're following a crackhead who you're seeing is, dude, you don't process really well. Like you can tell he's like a meth head on.
He has a lot of
and he's not making sense.
Right.
His logic is just not there. And you're following that, like I as opposed to Fauci, who's health, he's the epitome of a healthy man his age. He's like, he's demonstrating.
80 years old and he still runs. Like,
he's running.
Hello.
Active.
Yeah.
All cylinders on fire. And you're looking at crazy loony Lindell.
I mean, his brain has been affected by the coke he has used over his lifetime. No doubt. No doubt. Very like you could, I mean, like you're saying, the behavior is indicative of someone who is still using.
Yeah.
And if he's not still using, that's indicative of the amount of damage that has been done to his brain because of his inability to kind of formulate an actual meaningful sentence, right? The scatteredness of it, like
all over the place.
So it is very similar to someone who's still using, or someone who has had so much damage because of their use. That's just now how they are, and
there comes with it. There's a, when you're addicted to drugs, you have to do things, change your thinking. Like if you had great values and then you're so deep in your addiction, you're making excuses for why you're stealing, why you're doing this, why you're doing that throughout your whole history as you're using, right? Because you've had to lie, scheme, steal.
Right. Yeah.
Do all kinds of horrible stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So that thinking takes a while to unlearn and undo.
Right. Yeah.
It's not overnight. So for me, when you're hearing Lindell talking about, oh yeah, Jesus told me X, Y, and Z, I'm like, how come Jesus is the only one talking to you? I don't see, and again, I get back to, I don't see the fruits of the spirit in you. When you're talking about hate, you're sharing lies that you have no information on. You continue to push something that is not true.
mean,
And I don't know, my belief is it's not true because you don't have the evidence, either that or they've tricked you. It's talking about these data packs and everything else. This, I mean, look, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't even know. You have to be one of those IT folks. And I know Lindell ain't no IT.
Right.
So I bet you he probably got some people around him saying, oh yeah, here's the data pack and this, and he's like, oh, okay, I believe you. When people are looking at it and saying, this is BS. I don't even know what you gave me.
Right.
There's a bunch of scribbles on it.
Yeah, the level of paranoia that he shows is indicative of methamphetamine, cocaine, stimulant use, right? That's a common thing that happens in stimulant use. And so because like it's either he's still using, or again, his brain, some shit happened out of that much time of using stimulants that becomes a normal function, that paranoia. That's a normal way of functioning. And he is not fucking worked to change that back, right? Like his rational thinking is just not existing for him, you know? Ugh, bananas.
Crazy.
Shit, where did we go? Where did we go from that one? How did we get to that? How did we get there?
Let's go to my what's update.
Yeah. Okay. You got one update. Yeah. Okay.
I had a what's up.
Yeah.
Remember the TriMet barber? He was the one accused.
Yeah. There was
ladies.
Yeah.
TriMet.
Yeah.
So he came back up.
Oh
right?
shit.
He also got out, or he a couple 30 days in jail. He got right.
Right. Yeah.
So, man known as the TriMet barber accused of taking pictures of a woman using restroom again. Came out August 26th.
This guy. This guy.
Yeah. He's known as the TriMet barber, was arrested again on Wednesday, accused of taking a picture of a woman while she was using the restroom. Can you imagine?
This guy.
Bathroom. All of a sudden,
like underneath the stall.
Yeah. What would you do? What can you do?
Like you're sitting there trying to take a pee, or I don't know, for some people go number 2, and you know, you're not thinking about like something's gonna.
Yeah. So records show Walter was arrested on probation violation, a new charge of invasion of privacy. Police said on August 18th, officers responded to a pub in the 700 block of Southeast 6th Avenue. Investigators said the man had allegedly taken pictures of a woman while she was using the restroom. Police said the suspect was chased out of the bar by other people at the pub. Officers later identified the suspect as Walter.
Oh, Walter.
Arrested on Wednesday. KATU has reported on Walter's numerous run-ins with the law, most notably for cutting women's hair on TriMet buses and trains. Last month, he was sentenced to 9 days in jail, taking a picture of a woman using the restroom at Lloyd Center.
Oh, Walter. Somebody needs to help Walter. Walter, you need some help, buddy.
Got your number last week.
And you know what? It worked. I'm completely full. Not accepting new clients. Yeah, sorry. I mean, it worked. Thank you, but yeah, no walk-ins, no new clients no new appointments available at this time. Sorry.
You also have another WhatsApp.
Oh, okay.
So this is around Aubrey, Ahmed Aubrey.
Oh yeah, what's going on with that case?
So here's this came out. This came out CNBC September 2nd. A former district attorney, former Georgia district attorney Jackie Johnson criminally charged over investigation into Ahmed Aubrey shooting death. This is the district attorney who first got the information. And remember, they were linking the dude that shot Aubrey had connections to the DA.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This Jackie.
That's
Johnson.
Right. Yes.
And then she then goes to somebody else and says, "Hey, because I have this relationship with the with the shooter, I need for you to take a look at it." Right. And we were talking about that, and we were like, he looks at it. He only gets specific information. He gives his comeback to say no charges. Right.
Right. Yeah.
So then what ends up happening is this Miss Johnson then formally says, I want to hand it over to this guy who I consulted on it so that he can take it over, take over the case since since I have a connection with the shooter.
Right.
So then I guess as they're investigating, they're like, how is it that you gave it to him when he already told you what was going to happen? Why are you giving it to him instead of looking for somebody impartial that doesn't know anything?
Yeah.
And then apparently she was also standing in the way of police officers arresting the suspects, which is why it took so long. So here's the key points.
Okay.
The former district attorney in Georgia was indicted on charges of violating her oath of office and obstructing a police officer in connection with an investigation into the killing of Ahmed Aubrey. Aubrey, a black jogger, was gunned down by two white men who chased him in a truck. The attack was caught on film by a third white man. The former Brunswick Judicial Circuit prosecutor, Jackie Johnson, is accused of showing favor to one defendant in the shooting, Greg McMichael, and blocking the arrest of Travis McMichael, Greg's son. So they basically said, homegirl, you stepped in the way when police officers wanted to go arrest him. You stepped in the way of that and you said no. And then you went out there to try to seek somebody who would see the case through your similar eyes. And then you try to push the case to that guy. And because of that, we are charging you with, what did I say?
Obstruction or something?
Yes. Obstruction and violating her oath of office.
Wow. Good. Fucking good.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking good. That is systems change. Right? It's not just about the dudes that shot him. It's about the system that allowed all of that to happen. Right? The
system that has always used that way.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It wasn't until after all of these things where people are questioning the DA, which we've been trying to figure out, where's the DA that said, hey, we're going to charge, our local guy with theft.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Who was the DA that filed those charges?
Yeah, exactly.
The DA is not getting in trouble.
Right. Exactly.
So this is the system that we're talking about. So
that has allowed
one district attorney so far.
You know. I mean, and that's a good point, though, right? Is that the one, right? And so really, I mean, I'm still like, sometimes you just got to dismantle and rebuild it, because that's the problem, is that this will be their sacrificial lamb, right? Oh, see, we got one. Yeah. See, we held her accountable when, in our local West Lynn situation, that nobody was held accountable. People, well, the one guy, lost his DPST number, but he was going to retire anyway, right? So,
right. He's already got 30 years all up in there. So.
Exactly. So, nobody was charged criminally for their obstruction or abuse of office or position or anything like that. So, I mean, good. Yes, I'm glad. And this doesn't make it even, so to speak.
No, because there's
he's
dead. He ain't coming back.
Exactly. Right.
He's still gone. The family is still feeling the pain.
Exactly. Well, in a similar update, even though we didn't completely cover Elijah McClain's case, we talked about Elijah McClain. In 2019, he was killed in Colorado during last year's protests.
Mind everybody, he was just walking down the street.
He was walking down the street,
apparently, quote unquote, looking suspicious.
They confronted him. Let's see. The prosecution. So McClain's. Let's just go at the beginning. So Colorado's Attorney General said Wednesday that the grand jury indicted the three officers and two paramedics in the death of Elijah McClain, a black man who was put in a chokehold and injected with a powerful sedative 2 years ago in Denver. The 23-year-old's death gained widespread attention during last year's protests following the murder of George Floyd. McClain's pleading words that were captured on police body camera, "I'm just different," have been posted on signs and at protests and yeah.
Because he had some kind of
McClain, they believe he was on the spectrum. He had autism. McClain was walking down the street in the city of Aurora after a 911 caller reported looking suspicious. And I mean, just
what does that mean? You need how come the 911 operators and saying, "Ma'am, tell me exactly what."
Right. What is making him exactly? We're not going to dispatch. Right. People? Exactly. Is he looking into cars? Is he looking in car windows? Is he trying handles of, door handles? Yeah, exactly.
Acting suspicious.
Yeah.
Walking down the street is not suspicious.
Right. Exactly. Ugh. So the officers were charged with, and the paramedics were charged with manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide, and some of they face additional charges.
Because I believe at the time, they said that they didn't know how he had died, that there was no toxicology report of any sort. So this whole thing about being injected with, this strong, what did you say? A strong sedative.
I think it was ketamine. I think it was ketamine, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was ketamine.
Did they say that in the beginning?
Police used a chokehold and ketamine on McClain. Paramedics arrived and injected the 140-pound McClain with 500 milligrams of ketamine, more than 1.5 times the dose for his weight.
Oh my God!
So how do you
even get to use that?
Right, that's how is that even something that's legal to do? A chemical restraint? I guess I'm
under his eye.
It says the fire department is allowed to use the drug to sedate combative or aggressive people, but there's a lack of police training, conflicting medical standards, and non-existent protocols that have resulted in hospitalizations and even death when it's during police encounters. Within 5 minutes, according to the federal lawsuit, McClain stopped breathing. He died 6 days later after being declared brain dead and taken off life support. So they put this child in a fucking chokehold to the point where they cut the oxygen off of his brain, also giving him a sedative that fucking probably and basically rendered him brain dead to the point where, like I said, he had to be taken off life supports.
And yet all lives matter.
Right. The Attorney General's announcement came after 3 Aurora officers, including one involved in an encounter with McClain, were fired, and one resigned last year over photos mimicking a chokehold.
Oh, so he was thinking it was funny.
Yeah.
Now what, bitch?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like saying. Now what?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm starting to cuss. That must mean I'm frustrated.
Well, let's see. Let's a charge is one thing. We'll see a guilty. That's the next thing we're gonna need to see on this situation. So
for sure. Well, with that, since we're on police officers,
okay.
Right, this came out the Time News came out September 2nd. American police say officers are quitting in droves. Federal data says otherwise. So basically, I'm not even, because I don't really want to waste one of mine on this one, but basically it's this. The police union is saying, oh my God, we're losing police. The scary tactics.
We can't hire anybody. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to be a police officer anymore because you're so mean to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Public safety people. Safety.
Yeah.
When data is showing, no, in fact, they're not leaving. They're still staying there.
Yeah.
A paycheck is a paycheck, people. That's what I'm saying. If you are, high bills, and that's exactly what we know. America lives on credit cards, right? If you are high in debt, you ain't going nowhere on a job that you can easily start making big.
Not to mention they're making
time. Oh yeah,
bucks. They're making real good money.
Public employees.
Yeah, real good money.
So they're getting OT. They're getting
hazard pay.
All kinds of
stuff.
So
exactly.
you're gonna quit that?
Nope.
Nope, not even. And they keep going with, if you make our officers try to force them to get the vaccine, then they're gonna quit in droves. I'm saying, you know what? They're gonna line up. Then
quit. Then go. Bye. Go.
I'm like, it's a win-win for all of us.
Yeah, because we don't want them there anywhere.
Yeah. Trumpers, QAnon, conspiracy theorists, white nationalists.
Yep.
Buy boo. It's the easiest way for, because remember, we don't know which ones are the good cops. The good cops are going to do what is right for the public.
Exactly.
Get their vaccine like everybody else. And
exactly. Yeah.
That's what the good cops are going to do.
Yeah.
So bye boo.
Bye.
Anyway, all right. That's not one of mine.
Oh, okay. Oh, you want to? Okay.
I don't want to waste it on that.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
All right. Well, I'll do one that I had in the hopper. Oh, hold on. This is from the Daily Beast, so it's a little bit sensationalized because that's what they do. But it still happened. So South Dakota Attorney General who killed a man in a crash gets speeding ticket.
What? Oh, this is the one where he said it was accidental, right?
I can't remember. So yeah.
He thought it was a deer or something like that.
Let me get into it.
I saw that one.
So just 4 days before he was set to stand trial for a fatal road accident, South Dakota Attorney General Jason Ravensborg got a speeding ticket for going 57 in a 35. It was Ravensborg's seventh speeding infraction in 7 years, according to the local media, but hardly his most serious traffic violation. That came in September 2020 when Ravensburg rammed his car into Joseph Bover on the highway shoulder while driving home from a Republican Party function. Ravensborg, he was probably drunk too. Ravensborg, the top law enforcement for the state, called police and said that he thought he had hit an animal. Bover's body was not found until the next day when Ravensborg returned to the highway. During the interrogation, investigators told Ravensborg that he had hit Bover so hard and directly that the dead man's glasses ended up inside his car.
Oh my God.
That means his face came through your windshield, a Dakota Bureau of Investigation agent told him. His face is in your windshield. Think about that. So you couldn't have thought it was a deer. That's the point. Like, his face was on your windshield. His glasses were in your car. Last time I checked, deer do not wear glasses.
And I'm thinking, so that would be are they, because what I was missing from that article, which I don't know, is that they never said if the driver swerved into the guy.
So it says
the guy jumped out.
So the guy said he said he was scanning something on his phone right before the crash.
Okay, right there.
Driving while on his phone.
On the phone.
Well, he was on his phone, basically.
They don't have a law, no using your cell phone while driving?
Use of an electrical device while driving, illegal lane change, and careless driving were three of the misdemeanors. Would have been three of the misdemeanors, according to,
But they didn't give him that.
He was charged with 3 misdemeanors of use of electric device, illegal lane change,
even after
and careless driving.
I was scanning using my phone.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see right there, right there, a man's life.
But he was never charged with negligent homicide.
And you know what? And I'm
like in all of that whole case, not one charge of reckless endangerment, of negligent homicide, of harm to a person, a human being. A human being is dead. Yeah. He got a driving while on your phone fucking charge, which is a misdemeanor, but whatever, and a speeding, of which that's what he pled to.
Is he on probation?
Let's see if this
history of doing these things.
That's
that's what I would have said. You have a history of doing these things.
Yeah, he's not committed to the. It doesn't say. It just says that he won't step down because there's been calls for him to resign.
I thought you have to have. I thought. Oh, I guess it's felonies, and that's exactly what they
Right. Let's keep them misdemeanors.
Yeah,
exactly.
Ensure that there were no felonies, so that one, he can continue to feed his family.
Mhm.
However, when it comes to brown or black people, they don't really care whether they give you. They want you to get the felonies so that you can go off to prison.
Right. And who is this victim? Like, who's speaking for this victim? Where's the voice for this victim?
His family was there. They were outraged. They were outraged.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
I don't even know who the victim is. Like, I don't know if you know, what happened. What was he out there? Did he, was he on his way to go get some gas? Because
let's see if I can find something that it says what he was doing.
And of course he wouldn't step down, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Let's see.
And you know what's going to happen on the next case of something like this happening? A little ticket for the next person.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, I can't figure out what he was doing. What doesn't really matter. Yeah.
But, I was just thinking, if he was doing something like super innocent, trying to get, gas because he ran out, and those are always a sad kind.
Oh, he must have been pulled over to the side of the road because his truck was so he must have been he hit. Yeah.
There ain't no way that you knew it was a person.
He was in the dark going back to his truck. Yeah.
He was probably intoxicated. He knew he couldn't do anything. I say he was probably intoxicated. By that time, it's out of your bloodstream. It don't matter.
Right. So yeah, he gets to
walk away.
He gets a speeding ticket. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. I think the only thing.
Oh, and his face is just. Ugh.
I think the only
thin-lipped white man.
Yeah. The only good thing is the brain doesn't forget, and that when that dude closes his eyes, that he sees the face of that man that he killed.
Oh, he doesn't, because he's on the fucking narcissistic spectrum and he has no ability to empathize.
Wow.
I mean, let's just say, like,
I want to.
They exist as more than just serial killers. They hold public office.
Yeah. Well, but his punishment would be, that he closes his eyes and he sees that guy every single damn day. That would be his punishment that I would give.
Yeah.
Since the law can't. Since the law can't.
What a douche.
Yeah. You get to kill a man like that, but you can't have an abortion.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. Fucking bullshit. All right, what else do you got? Oh, I had another update. I forgot about that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can get back to it. Oh, you want to do that? You want me to do it?
Yeah. It might be something that I have.
So, remember we talked about Newburgh School District banning the Pride and Black Lives Matter flag?
Oh, yeah.
After controversial ban of political signs and flags that included LGBTQ Pride flag and Black Lives Matter flag, the Newburgh School District plans to rescind the rule. Guess they don't like all that negative press about how they're not a welcoming and inclusive school system by banning these two things. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
I mean,
but we have to go through all of that headache for you to then have to backtrack. Like,
right? Exactly. We have to. Yeah. The one of the fucking people from the school board said the main goal of this is to get political symbols and divisive symbols out of our schools so we can focus on the already difficult task of educating our students in core subjects.
Yeah.
Whatever, Shannon.
And that's what I'm saying is here you go. When you say Black Lives Matter is divisive, or you say pride flags are divisive.
Right.
How are they divisive? They're only divisive to homophobics.
Right.
Only divisive to racists.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the only people that you are protecting the fragility of.
Exactly.
Anyhow.
So there's a little update, a happy update. Happy update.
So we never covered this, but I read this and I was like, oh yeah. This
What's
came out of the Morning Call, August 24th. Woman who coughed on food at Garrity's supermarket at start of pandemic to serve up to 2 years in jail. A Lucerne County woman was sentenced to serve 1 to 2 years in jail and 8 years of probation for deliberately coughing on food at Garrity's supermarket in Hanover Township at the start of the pandemic in March 2020. Margaret Ann Churko, 37 of Hanover Township, was also ordered to pay nearly $30,000 in restitution, mental health and drug and alcohol evaluation. Appearing in court Tuesday morning, Churko told the judge she is sorry for her actions. I'm so sorry for what I did that day. She said, I wish I could go back. Lucerne County President Judge Michael T. Vaughn was quick to respond, I do too. It was totally outrageous conduct, he said. Joe Fasulo, co-owner of Garrity Supermarket, said the store was forced to throw away about $35,000 worth of food and merchandise after Churko coughed on it. According to the arrest papers, Churko entered Garrity's on the San Such Parkway the afternoon of March 25th, time when COVID-19 was rapidly spreading throughout Pennsylvania and little was known about the virus. She began yelling, I have the virus. Now everyone is going to get sick, before coughing and spitting on food and merchandise in the store. The incident made international headlines. I don't know why we didn't get it.
I know. How did we miss that one?
Fasula, who appeared in court Tuesday, said this occurred at the height of the pandemic and employees and customers were afraid. At the time, no one knew if the virus could spread on surfaces, he said. Lucerne County Assistant District Attorney Drew McLaughlin said it also was a time when there was no mask mandates. Her threat caused many people fear, panic, anxiety, in addition to financial loss of tens of thousands of dollars worth of food and merchandise. Churko pleaded guilty in June to a weapon of mass destruction charge, second-degree felony. In exchange for her plea to the felony charge, prosecutors dropped other offenses against her, including criminal mischief, disorderly conduct, and making terroristic threats. Her lawyer, here we go, said she later tested negative for coronavirus. He said she realizes the seriousness of the quote unquote crazy threats she made. He also added that Churko has alcohol and mental health issues, and she was intoxicated at the time. It's not an excuse, but it is an explanation. Churko was remanded to Lucerne County Correctional Facility after her sentencing on Tuesday. She received credit for 35 days she already served in jail. Now, she was charged in a separate case in April after refusing to leave a warrior-run church on the grounds that she is a child of God. Prosecutors in that case alleged she began shouting outside of the Welsh Presbyterian Church 3 times over the span of little more than a day. I love God. God loves me. Jesus, won't you walk with me? Jesus, won't you walk with me? Prosecutors quoted her as shouting. After twice being told to stay away from the church to which she does not belong, Churko returned a third time and started pounding on the doors, yelling, let me in, God, I love you. Churko pleaded guilty to misdemeanor count of defiant trespassing in that case, and she was fined $276. Cuckoo.
I mean, I don't think that she deserved to get charged for the church thing. She's just showing she loves God. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Go to church and
apparently not.
Apparently that church turns the faithful away.
Yeah, apparently you can't be out there screaming about God and everything.
That seems counterintuitive to what the whole church situation is.
I would think so.
Why would they?
Same thing with Olstein.
Shouldn't they take her in and be like, you know, we are happy that you are loving Jesus, and we want to help you love Jesus, but let's not do the Jesus loving by pounding on the door. You know, like help her, take her in, help her.
Yeah, no, there are very few churches that do that. Salvation Army does that.
Oh,
right? They take in.
What would Jesus do?
Apparently, Jesus would say.
Jesus would call the police. Apparently,
back at a later time. Don't come to my house.
There, Jesus calls the police.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's some good ones. Okay. I thought that I actually didn't read the whole thing, so I don't know exactly what's happening or why she's doing this, but we're gonna find out together. This is from NPR. Just one drop. That's a hint.
Oh yeah.
Just one drop. I can't even get my voice that low. Just one drop. Now. Oh, does she really? Yeah. Oh, so Elizabeth Holmes plans to accuse ex-boyfriend of abuse at Theranos fraud trial.
Okay. They had a safe word, I'm sure. So I don't think that could be considered abuse.
It was one drop.
The chains in the office.
One drop.
Consent.
Elizabeth Holmes, the founder of the blood testing startup Theranos, plans to defend herself in federal fraud trial starting next week by arguing that her ex-boyfriend, who was an executive at the company, emotionally and sexually abused her, impairing her state of mind at the time of the alleged crimes, according to a new unsealed documents.
I'm sorry, this was her brainchild before he even.
He was right. Yeah, he wasn't. She'd been doing this since Stanford. When the professor said this will not work,
right, and she continued to pursue it,
yeah,
to the point where she got that millionaire dude who she was going to visit, right, the grandfather of one of his place, all Kissinger, by herself.
Yeah,
all by herself. There was no sign of Sonny, right? Was that his name?
Yep.
No sign of Sonny.
Yep.
To collect his cash to invest.
So she intends to pin the blame on Ramesh Sunny Balwana, her former boyfriend and one-time top Theranos executive, who has also been charged in separate fraud case. Holmes is likely to take the stand to testify in her trial. Ooh, that'll be interesting. Right. The bombshell revelations come on the eve of the trial of Holmes, who stands accused of defrauding patients and investors in operating Theranos. We know, blah, blah, blah. So essentially, that's going to be her argument, is that that Balwana was controlling, manipulative, and abusive to her. In particular, Holmes is set to describe at trial how he controlled how she ate, how she dressed, and with whom she's. No, I'm sorry. I saw the documentary where you talked about wearing the turtleneck because you emulated fucking homeboy from Apple, Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. She intends to say that Sonny monitored her calls, text messages, and emails, and was physically violent, throwing hard, sharp objects at her. The pattern of abuse and coercive control continued over the approximate decade-long duration of Holmes and Sonny's relationships, including during the period of the charged conspiracies.
You know what? Here's the thing. Because you were in an abusive relationship doesn't mean that you didn't defraud people.
Right, exactly. He may have very well been abusive, and I'm sorry he was like that. And if this was actually happening, that's terrible.
An abusive situation,
right?
Terrible.
Yeah, but you don't get to use that as your excuse for defrauding people.
People lying to them,
right?
Knowing that you didn't have.
Going into this again from Stanford, you were told this would not work, and everything kept coming up of this doesn't work. Every turn, it was never going to work.
And Balwani was an investor,
and yet you kept doing it. You kept pushing it. You can't say that Yeah,
She approached Brawani about it.
yeah, exactly. I'm just like,
Yeah, no, but here we go. Let's blame a person of color because poor,
right. White woman tears. White woman tears.
I mean, I'm hoping people on the jury are like, we're not
Yeah.
going to fall for that. We're going to be impartial. I'm going to put on my equity lens and I'm going to say, just because he's a person of color, that, we don't, and I don't know if she has evidence of abuse. But
I mean, of course, Sonny's attorneys are saying it's salacious and inflammatory, and that there's, this is all allegations. She's gonna claim abuse, and she's claiming abuse and post-traumatic stress disorder and depression and intimate partner abuse syndrome. Which I'm not saying that she may not have some of that experience. If this in fact happened, if he was abusive,
but isn't it kind of funny?
But this was not. I mean, how did this never come up? How did this never come up?
And here's the thing: it's funny that those that were employed by her said she was abusive,
right?
Threatening. You better not do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So she's doing these similar behaviors that she is claiming that she is experiencing as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it. One, even women that are known to have been in abusive relationships, they're still, who kill their partners, they still go to prison. So
right, exactly. I mean, you still get held accountable. Yeah.
So I'm sorry if you experience abuse, but that has nothing to do with you stealing people's money. Because
this was way before Sonny came to the picture. You knew you were doing something fraudulent.
You knew
it wasn't real. Yeah. You just couldn't accept it.
Yeah.
Because of potentially your level of narcissism, right?
Is ignorance.
I think it's narcissism.
I think so too, but it's also of ignorance. Like your teacher tells you, who is degreed, right?
It wasn't just some, it just wasn't some person that you're like, hey, what do you think about this idea? And they're like, it'll never work. No, this is someone who fucking knows her shit.
Yeah. If it had, let's say if it had worked, then you could have come back and said,
right, and said, see, look at what I did. I told you so. I told you so. Right? Yeah.
But you lied to try to get people,
and every turn,
nothing to show for it, and you still needed more money to push it through.
You just kept getting the money,
not in the business of the research, using it elsewhere. That's fraud.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so just one drop.
Right. Bye, girl.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Bye. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, here.
What else you got?
Politico. Federal judge imposed sanctions on Sidney Powell, Lynn Wood, and other pro-Trump lawyers. Did you hear about that?
I don't think
August 25th. Sidney Powell is at the.
Oh, right. Yes. I remember. Yes, I saw the double diva or whatever, the lady on TikTok that I follow who talks about shit, that happens. Yeah. And her what is her tagline? Stupid games win stupid prizes or something like that. Yeah, she's funny. Yeah, she's funny. Yeah. But yeah, she did a little thing about it. Playa.
A federal judge on Wednesday imposed sanctions on Sidney Powell, Lynn Wood, and 7 other pro-Trump lawyers in a strongly worded denouncement of what the court called a frivolous election fraud lawsuit. The U.S. District Court Judge Linda Parker found that Powell and other colleagues involved in the case, which sought to make former President Donald Trump Michigan's official 2020 presidential pick, filed this lawsuit in, quote unquote, bad faith and for improper purpose. The lawsuit to certify President Joe Biden's victory in the state should have never been filed, Parker said in her opinion. Further, they presented pleadings that were not warranted by existing law or by a non-frivolous argument for extending, modifying, or reversing existing law,
Come
or
on.
establishing new law, and contain factual contentions lacking evidentiary support or likely to have evidentiary support. So that whole Dominion thing, the whole,
Yep.
all of those machines.
Yep.
Parker, an appointee of President Barack Obama, who is based in Detroit, held a 6-hour sanctions hearing in July in which plaintiffs' attorneys involved in the lawsuit, such as Wood, downplayed their role in the process. Emily Newman and Julia Harler, who both served in multiple roles in the Trump administration, were included in the sanctions announced on Wednesday. Another 7 attorneys involved in the litigation, including Scott Hagerstorm and Stephanie Lynn Gentili, were also subject to sanctions, along with mandatory continued education on election law. The pro-Trump
they have to go back to classes.
The pro-Trump attorneys were ordered to pay the fees and costs incurred by the state defendant and the city of Detroit to defend this action. It is unclear how much that will be, and the defendants have 2 weeks to submit their time and expense records. Further, given the deficiencies in the pleadings, which claim violations of Michigan election law without a thorough understanding of what the law requires, and the number of failed election challenge lawsuits that plaintiff attorneys have filed, the court concluded that the sanctions imposed should include mandatory continuing legal education in the subjects of pleading standards and election law. On top of that, the judge recommended that the Bar Association for each respective attorney investigate them for potential suspension or disbarment, noting that their involvement in the litigation showed they were unfit to practice law.
Come on now. Come on.
To snap up.
Unfit to practice law.
Yep.
Bitches, unfit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right there.
I think that's awesome. I was cracking up when I heard it that they got to go to take classes and
yeah.
I just
referred back to the bar.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh God.
Just that.
I
got one more after this one.
Okay, I'll do this one, and we don't even really have to do the whole thing. It's more of a rapid fire because the title says it all. Woman arrested for using fake Moderna vaccine card to travel to Hawaii. Moderna, MAD.
They put that in the vaccine card.
Yes. So you didn't hear about this one?
I heard about the couple.
Stupid games. Oh, they fake their
They faked their cards, and they faked their kids' cards who are under the age of 12.
Oh my God.
That's how they got
you idiots.
Yeah.
So this girl from Illinois wanted to travel to Hawaii, and so she got a fake COVID vaccine card with a major typo. 24-year-old Chloe Morzak allegedly submitted fraudulent document to bypass mandatory 10-day quarantine for unvaccinated visitors. One air stood out to authorities. Moderna was misspelled as Madderna, and the handwritten card stated that she had received 2 doses of the vaccine in Delaware from National Guard members. Officials in Delaware reportedly told investigators they could not find evidence of her vaccinations in their records. Yeah. Initially, they had trouble tracking her down because the hotel reservation she gave at the airport screener was incorrect. So she gave probably false information where she was staying, knowing that they might catch her. And let's see. Yeah, she was charged with falsifying vaccination documents, which is a misdemeanor offense, and her bail was set at $2,000. So not too much.
$200.
Yeah. So yeah, but at least, I mean, I'm glad she got caught.
I'm glad she got caught.
The people. Moderna.
Yeah.
I got the Moderna. What did you get? I got the Pfizer.
It's not even worth it, people. Like, if you're not going to take the vaccines, then just stay
Just
home.
stop. Just don't do it. Just don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
just stay home, be safe, wait it out. Hopefully it goes away. But you want to be out there in stores. You want to be out there,
right?
And that's the other thing that pisses me off. We know that stores are private businesses.
Right.
You don't get to go in there. I got a handicap, and you all can't do that.
Right.
I'm disabled, and and then you can't ask me what my disability is. Okay, nobody's asking you. Nobody wants to have a dialogue with you.
Right.
Just leave our store.
Right. Yeah. Just don't. You don't get to be in here.
Yeah.
Go somewhere where they're not going to check you.
Nobody wants your business here.
Yeah.
They're telling you without a mask, don't bring your business in here. We don't want people that have masks. They have to keep their workers safe.
Right. Exactly.
It's their business. If they don't have workers to work, they're closing their business.
Right. Exactly. I'm telling you. Yeah. So Moderna, that's apparently a new vaccine. It's up there with ivermectin or whatever that. I think it's on the same shelf as the worm medicine. Moderna.
I did see on TikTok, what's his name? The boxer. What's his name? He's got COVID.
Tyson? Mike Tyson?
No, the Latino one. His wine. Why can't I think of his name?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was the boxer. Oh, Oscar De La Hoya.
Oh, De La Hoya.
That can.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he's out there. Sounds like dude didn't get vaccinated because he's out there talking about his chest hurts. He can't breathe, and he's in the hospital. He's like, we're at the emergency. I feel like I can't breathe. Dude.
Come on now. Come on now.
You got the vaccine because, who knows whether they're going to have a bed for you. Because I think at the point where they're turning away celebrities and people with cash, it's bad.
Right. Exactly. Oh, man. Oh, well, actually, I'm not going to read this story, but since you said that, right?
Yeah.
There was an article in Wired this last week, which brings up, it's an ethical dilemma, right? And where is that damn?
Solve the ethical problems.
Well, I don't think we're going to solve it. Because it is truly the ethical dilemma right now. And that ethical dilemma is, would it be fair to treat vaccinated COVID patients first? Last week, Texas healthcare policymakers discussed taking vaccination status into account for COVID triage. It's a larger conversation ethicists are bracing for.
You know what? As much as these people, non-vaccinators, get on my damn nerves, they get on my nerves. I would probably say we need to help the people, one, that are, because let's put it this way. Let's say you have a non-vaxxer, and then when we say non-vaxxer, let's say this. No, let me give you the scenario. Yeah.
A vaccinated person and a non-vaccinated person show up to the emergency. Exact same symptoms.
Level. Like they need
same presentation. Their oxygen level is dropping below whatever that when they put the oximeter on. So we're not talking like one may need a respirator, one not. No, they're showing up with the exact same. I got to go to the hospital because I'm now starting not able to breathe, and my oxygen had dropped. So exact same symptoms. Do you treat the one that's vaccinated first because you know that they have a higher rate of survival, or do you treat the one who's not vaccinated first, knowing that that person may very likely die no matter what you do for them?
Right.
Well,
here we go. Because then I think, what if it's a kid that's non-vaccinated
and the exact same symptoms?
You can't just say we're only going to treat the vaccinated when you have other people that for reasons
it's not that you're not going to treat them. You're just not going to treat them first. So again, right? You have 10 hospital beds.
If it's a child that is not able to get the vaccine.
No, we can't. That's an outlier. We can't put that one in.
That's a non-vaxxer.
It has to be the age range. The age. Yeah, no, it has to be
like 2 grown-ups.
Well, the person had to have been eligible to take the vaccine. So it had to be 12 or older.
Yeah.
So you could get a 13-year-old presenting that's not vaccinated and a 45-year-old who's vaccinated presenting with the same exact symptoms. Do you treat the vaccinated person first?
I would be like, I would have to say no.
They'll both get treatment.
The reason why I say that is because studies are showing that people who have been vaccinated aren't dying. They just need extra oxygen or whatever. The ones that haven't been vaccinated, they're the ones that are dying. So they're the ones who are more at risk of dying. Now, that's the frustrating part because, where you're like.
Because you could treat them and they could still end up dying.
Right. And you could treat them and they still end up dying. But the chances of the other one waiting a little bit, maybe getting some oxygen in their lungs, where you give them a little tank and, wait in the waiting room. The chances of them dying are less than the one that is in front of you who's not vaccinated. And because that it's only going to go from that to worse.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know what they can do other than you're getting on a respirator. We're putting you in a coma.
Right.
I don't know what other than we're crossing our fingers and hope your body is strong enough to fight it. I mean, what more can they do? They're going to inject you with different drugs, the dewormer,
the non-vaccinated person gets the anti-wormer.
Right. I mean, that's what I would do is, hey, you want all these, all these crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Or do you want the real deal? I mean, that is, and that's the whole piece of why it was so important to put the masks on so that anybody who needed medical attention could get it.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest frustrating part because we're going to see more hospitalizations. We're going to see younger kids who had no control. And this is why it pisses me off with the Texas abortion law. Instead of protecting the kids, you're forcing them to go back to school to be super spreaders all over the place. And you don't give a damn.
Oh, yeah. I was listening to NPR today and they were talking to some folks from Texas and they were saying how what they had in this one school district that they were, whoever they were from was from that school district. They had well over 1,000 students in quarantine because they had been, exposed and hundreds of cases of students that had COVID after like the first week of school.
And that's for any parent that thinks that, I mean, you've seen these grown adults barely breathing. You think you're going to be sitting fine and pretty being, it's okay, baby. Just hold on, baby. You're with this COVID thing. You don't know. Nobody knows what you're.
Well, and that's what they were saying too, is that what we don't know about the youth population is what long haul COVID will look like for them. Because we know with the adult population, we've gotten enough, cases where we're seeing the impact of long haul COVID. We don't have enough sample size of youth. So this could be many different things for their development, for their ability, later in life to have health. And I don't know about do you treat who you treat first or whatever. I mean, I think that's an ethical dilemma that thankfully I don't ever have to face, right? Yeah. Because I can see the frustration, right? Being in that field, I could see the level of frustration and burnout of these healthcare workers who are treating people that all they had to fucking do was get a shot. Right? And I'm not talking about the very small percentage of people that had such a reaction or would have a reaction that they couldn't get it, right? Right. Because there is a small time. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about the ones that said they would take it if they could, but they can't. I'm talking about the fucking would rather put bleach and warm medicine in their fucking system than take a goddamn shot.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like they're looking for every other avenue of something to put in their body to keep them from getting COVID, other than the fucking thing that has been scientifically proven to save your life from COVID. Yeah. You know? So I could only imagine what these healthcare workers are feeling, seeing that day in and day out and day. And again, you can say, well, they see that all the time, like people who are abused who end up in. They don't see it on this level.
Yeah.
They don't see on. Of course, they see patients who are obese and could maybe have chosen a healthier lifestyle, but then are suffering from heart disease and heart attacks. Of course, they see that, and that probably gets to them. But this is on a massive scale of one fucking disease. Yeah. One disease, right?
Yeah. That again, if you've taken the damn vaccine, it would be. That's why it's called a pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a one time. I mean, this is mass. I mean, this is well, bad.
And Andy just read a fucking article today about the new variant.
I saw that one. And that's exactly what Fauci was saying. If we don't get people vaccinated, this virus is waiting to start dividing into something new.
Well, I mean, the Delta variant, again, NPR they had a whole episode on Science Friday today about the science of this. And they were talking about, in particular around school, because part of the difficulty, even in masking of schools, is that the students aren't wearing the N95 mask because the Delta variant is aerosol. That's why it spreads so much easier. Whereas the original COVID was just droplet. Yeah, it was droplet. This is aerosols. That's why there's a 5-to-1 spreading. Yeah. So they're saying, yes, we want students to mask, but we actually need to make sure they have the masks that will actually protect them from the spread of this. So, you know, and then now we're talking about Mu. We don't even, like, that's the one they're watching now that originated in Colombia. So just please wear a mask and stay away from me. And wear a mask and wash your fucking hands and just wear a mask.
Yeah.
And get vaccinated. Come on. Yeah. Please.
Very, very simple.
All right. What else you got? One more.
Oh yeah. So this one I got. Maybe you could do it as a like a rapid fire.
Ooh, okay.
Where is it? Look at, I had it and then
you fucking clicked off of it, and so now you lost it.
Hold on.
And now you got to go back to the drawing board.
No, not that one. It was the one that, okay, so it's one where this lady, here it is. Yes. This came from the New York Post. Woman banned from zoo after unhealthy relationship with chimp.
I'm sorry. What the fuck?
A woman banned.
What the fuck?
After unhealthy relationship with chimp.
Oh no! Come on.
August 24th, 2021.
No, stop it.
Get a monkey's uncle. This woman wants to be one's wife. A monkey-loving woman has been banned from visiting a male chimpanzee at the zoo in Antwerp, Belgium, after officials declared the relationship unhealthy for animal socialization with other chimps.
What?
Yeah. Although I think I read it, and I'm
thinking,
you're a bit sensational. You know?
Okay.
It's a bit sensational.
It was a bit of a clickbait kind of situation.
I think so. I mean, you tell me what you think. I love that animal. I love that animal, and he loves me. Ida Timmons of told the Belgian channel of her simian soulmate, according to Lad Bible. The heartsick woman had reportedly been visiting the male chimp named Cheetah on a weekly basis for 4 years in what she described as a real relationship, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. During their visits, the two bar-crossed lovers would reportedly blow kisses and wave to each other through the glass of the primate's enclosure, although thankfully they didn't engage in any interspecies whooping. Okay, now that that's what I'm saying.
But that's not what she wanted. She just would go and visit it, right?
And blow kisses.
Well, yeah, I mean,
nonetheless, Timmermans believes that their attraction is mutual. Unfortunately,
Uh-oh.
the zoo has put the kibosh on their
that's where you got me. That's where you got me on that line of she believes their attraction is mutual.
Yeah, but she didn't say, I'm in
Like
love with
sexual attraction. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I mean, see, that's what I'm saying. As
Okay.
I'm like you. I was like, oh, what's this lady doing? Unfortunately, the zoo has since put the kibosh on the unorthodox love affair, as it's reportedly caused Cheetah to get shunned by his fellow apes. The cheetah is consistently surrounded by visitors. The other animals ignore him and don't consider him part of the group. Zoo curator Sarah Lafont told ATV of the primate pariah, who reportedly spends 15 hours outside of human visiting times completely alone as a result of his banishment. Lafont explained, an animal that is too focused on people is less respected by its peers. We want Cheetah to be a chimpanzee as much as possible. Timmermans, for one, is devastated over her excommunication from the zoo. I haven't gotten anything else, the heartbroken gal protested. Why do they want to take that away? She added that her exile was especially unfair, as other zoo goers are still allowed to visit her primate paramour. Unfortunately, the ban may ultimately prove futile. Zoo officials don't think that Cheetah will ever be able to reintegrate into chimp society, as his exposure to humans began at an early age. So here we have a chimp that is familiar with people.
Right. Yeah.
Be with people.
Right.
Thinks that's his pack.
Right. Yeah.
Originally, the young chimp, was donated to the wildlife facility at an age when he became unmanageable and has spent 30 of the last 38 years in captivity. As a result, Cheetah is very friendly with people, to the detriment of his relationship with his own kind. He was even seriously injured during a 2008 fight with other male chimps. Indeed, researchers from Chicago Lincoln Park Zoo have found that chimpanzees raised by humans had difficulties integrating with other chimps with social deficiencies, lasting for decades after their release from captivity.
So essentially, this guy came to them kind of antisocial in the chimpanzee world, and was more socialized towards humans.
Yeah.
So they were hoping that maybe they could shift that, but they're saying her behavior kept him from doing that. But at this point, but at this point, it might be a moot point anyway, because they don't even know if he would have ever been reintegrated in.
Yeah.
That does kind of seem,
and I'm thinking, this lady probably is like, oh, he's like so friendly and he's high and he knows these little tricks.
Yeah, it's like orangutans. Have you ever gone to the at zoo and the orangutans? And if you put your hand up on the glass, they'll put their hand up on the glass.
Oh yeah,
it's cool. Like it's cool, like the interspecies kind of mimicking and things like that. So
this lady, I think, just kind of probably is herself just not. I don't want to say antisocial, but just probably doesn't have a lot.
She's obviously very lonely and doesn't have a lot of social connection, and that was her social connection. And has the time to go every day, has the money to go every day to the zoo. I feel like it's kind of like
she's trying to lick the,
where she was being inappropriate. She was doing some sort of weird sexual thing at him. Yeah.
That's where I was like,
I don't know.
Making it sound like it's a love affair and she wants to be the wife.
Because now at this point, if they know he's already probably not going to be able to socialize because of his past history, now you're taking the one thing for him away that was. I mean, we do know that primates are social creatures, right? So that was his social interaction, even though they weren't.
30 years.
So now he's going to have nothing?
Yeah.
That's
except for get beat up in the street.
Right, exactly. God, poor guy. He's losing out too.
Right. And it sounds like there's no way of reversing that. Like he's too old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I don't know if I would go that far in saying putting all that extra on that story.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Clickbait, because I clicked it and I was like, what? And then by the end of it, I was like,
yeah.
Poor chimp. Poor cheetah.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor cheetah. Oh, cheetah.
Cheetah.
Oh, cheetah.
Because the lady needs another hobby.
I want to help her find some socialization, right? Like,
yeah.
Maybe volunteer at an animal shelter where they actually need people to walk dogs or hold,
or hold kitties,
right? Or hold dogs that are antisocial, right? And need to learn how to be around all kinds of different types of humans. Like that's a way. Like again, like maybe she's a person that doesn't feel like she can engage effectively with humans, and I mean, and there are people like that, right? Like very, very introverted, shy people who just don't have the desire or ability to socially interact with other humans. Like, get help. Let's get her into some sort of volunteer space where she could help, dogs or cats that need to be socialized. And I just hope it wasn't some weird, like, sexual
that's what
thing.
I was thinking. That's
because they use those catchwords of attraction, right? Like,
right. And then
instead of like social connection, right? Yeah. So, all right.
They do that when it comes to women, right?
Of course. Let's make it
when it's a male violating an animal. It's
Yeah. Let's make it seem all salacious.
Health problems.
Yeah. Ugh.
He was discovered mounting the horse.
Right, exactly.
Did we do a story like that?
No, we did a couple dog ones. We did a couple dog ones.
Yeah.
I think we did a couple dog ones. Yeah, we did the dog ones. Remember there was one with the sheriff. Yeah. And then there was Estrella. Yeah. Oh, pobre Estrella. All right. Well, we did one. We did an episode, Mom. There you go. Yeah. Hopefully it'll hold you off until we can get a record for the next one. Who knows?
And as we sign off, under his eye.
Blessed be thy name, or blessed be thy fruit under his eye. What is it? Yeah. What did I say it was?
His eye.
Blessed be thy fruit. May the Lord open.
Yeah.
May the Lord open. Thank you for listening. As long as we still have rights as women to do this, we'll continue to do this podcast.
Right.
And until next time, nos vemos.
Adios.
Daisy, what's your safe word? What's your safe word, Daisy?